Hi everyone, this is Julia Katsibo. I'm very excited to be here this evening. It's January 25th. Does it feel like January is just going on and on and on for several years? I mean, I've seen some posts. It's quite funny talking about welcome to the third month of January, and sometimes it feels that way. Sometimes it feels like, oh my goodness, this is a very long month. But I'm also very happy that it is a long month because that just gives me more days to make more money. And I don't know about you, but I will take that. I will take a very good head start to my year. So January has many days, and it feels like a year in itself. But that's also good because that means multiple opportunities to start right and get cracking. So now let's jump in. We're talking about vision boards. Now we know this. I mean, I think I even had a vision board session or class at the end of the year and at the beginning. So tons of people are out there offering vision board classes, days, that sort of thing. It's a big thing right now because it is the beginning of the year. And a lot of people want to have the right plan, and they want to have a really clear picture of what it is that they want to accomplish and then set out to go for it. Now, this is the thing. There are a lot of people out there, and these are the people that I'm specifically talking to. They have a plan. They know what they want. They know what they want to see. They know what success means to them personally, not as dictated by anybody else. They know what they're tired of. They know what situations they're tired of, what kind of relationships they're tired of. And they have those things very clear. But what they don't have is the self-confidence to make changes, to get more of what they want and less of what they don't want. And for a lot of people, especially those who know what they want, who know what they don't want, but they don't have the self-confidence to move forward, a vision board, a revenue plan, any one of those goals is not going to quite work out for you because we're lacking the self-confidence bit. So if this is you, this is really good because I'm here. And we're going to talk a little bit about the vision board and how to look at where you are right now and where you want to be. So I've brought a few of my friends here to help me. Just some random drawings. As long as you get the idea, don't judge the drawings or the quality of the drawings, okay, or the writings. Very soon we'll just have it on the computer. Okay. So this is the thing, right? I want you to imagine that you are on zone A. So you're on zone A and you want to get to B. So you're standing on A and you're saying, I want. So for example, I want more clients. I want more, I want to be healthier. I want to lose weight. I want to find the love of my life. I want to start a family, right? And I'm stuck. Like, obviously, if you got those things, then you wouldn't be there saying, I want them. So the idea is I'm stuck. How do I get what I want? And what I want is on B. So zone B is where you have, I have more clients. I have lost weight. I have found the love of my life. I have my family. And that's where you want to be. And the difference between A and B is very important to you because this determines whether you stay stuck in I want to make money. I want to make my business work. I want to quit my day job so that I can stay home with my family, or so that I can do my business all day, every day. I'm so in love with it. I want a family. I want a love of my life. And zone B is I have the perfect job. I have the perfect business. And it's perfect because it suits you and what you want. And you're happy about that. Right? So we've seen that. And, you know, that's where a lot of people are. Where it's, okay, Julia, you've got me. I want to move from this point to the next point. And usually this is where we get the vision boards and we put out pictures or we map out what we want to see. But then sometimes we find that nothing has quite happened there. And you may be wondering why. Why am I not seeing more of what I want? And the truth is, it's because between your zone A and your zone B is this thing at the bottom, right? So like this is the steps that you take from one end to the other. And this is sort of like the journey. But you've got all this here, which is nothing, like just nothing. And most people, for survival purposes, will always ask the question, well, how do I step out in faith or whatever? How do I step out and walk when I don't know? Am I going to fall? Right? And this is the failure zone. Am I going to fall? Like, what's going to happen to me if I step out and go from zone A to B? Is this going to work out for me? And that's the question. Is this going to work for me? Because I don't see anything here. I don't see the steps. How am I doing this? What are the steps? And we know very well that, you know, this is a very real thing because there's, as an example, there's a wall in China. It's a 14 foot long. It's a glass, not a wall, sorry. Yeah, a glass wall. And you can go across it, and it's in China, and it goes from, it's like a bridge. It goes from one end to the other. And why did I say wall? So it's a bridge, and it's about 1,400 feet. And you go from one end to the other. And at the bottom, it drops all the way down 1,000 feet. So you can even just Google and YouTube. You see videos of people who are making the trek across from zone A to B, and they're just hanging on for dear life because they're so terrified. Intellectually, they understand that nothing will happen to them because they're walking on something. But visually, all they see is just what's below, what's beneath, right? And it's just death. So why would they want to go across? And so the same thing happens when it comes to our goals, our plans, our dreams, is you want to go from zone A to B. But for as long as, you know, those internal security questions aren't answered, you're honestly just hard pressed to make a move because you don't want to get hurt. You don't want to fail. You don't want to be laughed at. You don't want to be, you don't want to be called names. You don't want things to happen. So you'd rather not. Interesting, right? Okay, so I showed you zone A and I showed you zone B. So zone A is you're stuck. You want to get more clients. You want more success in your business. You want a family. You want to lose weight, whatever the case may be. And then zone B is you having these things. So imagine this is that vision board that you've put up there, right? Like you've put the stuff on your vision board, you're looking at it and you're saying, these are the things that I want and I have them. Now we've identified that for a lot of people, this isn't happening. You can put up all the posters in the world that you want. You can do any of those things. You can wake up every morning and say a mantra to yourself. You can meditate, you can deeply wish, you can do all of that stuff, but it's just not gonna happen. And it's because you have questions that haven't been answered. For example, what am I stepping out into? It's easy to say, go ahead, step out and keep going. But what am I stepping into? You want to know, how am I getting across? And what's going to happen to me? So I want to introduce zone C. It is new, okay? This is different now. So remember we had our zone A and our zone B, and beneath it, we didn't quite have anything. Now we're going to have our zone C, and it's missing one crucial point. In zone A, you will notice it says I'm stuck, right? We're gonna get rid of that. And we're going to have I want as the zone C. I want. So we're going from B to C, which is I want to I have. And what zone C is, and it's a really good place to be in our lives, is that place where you're asking, what's on my finish line? What does my finish line look like, right? So that's how we get to zone C. We get to zone C by asking, what does my finish line look like? What's at the end? This is usually where we have pictures on vision boards of the, like, if you want a really big, nice white house, then there it is. You're going to find a cutout, put it there. Or if you're not visual, you might just write down the specs of the house that you want, depending on how you taking information and how you give out information. And so what you want is to look at not necessarily things that you want, but what you want that picture to look like at the finish line. And really, you'll see here that the question is, what do I want the end? Right? What do I want at the end of the finish line? Now, usually people will think about things like medals, like just tangible stuff. Things like, I want first place, I want the medal. In this case, it'll be, I want the big house, I want the car, I want the money, I want the thriving business. But those in itself are not motivating goals. They're very short term. You may want $1 million by the end of 2018, and that's really awesome. However, there will be mornings or nights when even $1 million is not enough to get you out of bed. So think about what you want out of that. What does $1 million afford you? What is it bringing to your life? What is that thing that you want at the end of the road? What do you want? And get down to its specifics. So if you say, I want a thriving business, that's not specific. What is a thriving business? Well, I want a thriving business that brings in $150,000 a year. It allows me to take months off, and I can spend a lot of vacation days with my family. I want you to consider that that's a job that you're describing. You could very well go out and get a job that pays you that much and allows you to do that. What is it that you want? Like, really dig in deep and figure out what you want at the end of the journey. So you're in point A, you're stuck, you know what you want to go for, but somehow things are not coming, they're not working out for you. Look at the end goal, look at the very end, where it is that you want to end up, and get very clear on what it is that you want that result to look like. What do you want your end result to look like? And that's what we call the deciding factor. So what you're doing in this instance is you're deciding on a few things. So for example, if you want to lose weight, and you say, I want to lose 30 pounds, that's an amazing goal because it's very specific. And I want to lose 30 pounds by the end of 2018. That's awesome. That's an amazing goal. You have a timeline. Now you just execute it. But think further and just really dig in deeper than that, because there are days when that in itself will not be enough to motivate you to stay away from the things that will add on weight. It doesn't matter how much you say, I want to lose the 30 pounds. There are days when that just won't cut it. You need something else. And so in this instance, it may be that I see myself hiking, just living in the mountainside and hiking, going up and down those mountain trails, and I'm with my children, and I'm with my dogs, and I'm with my husband, and we're just having a blast. And that's something that we do every day, every morning, actually. That's how we start our day. And I see it so clearly. I'm just going up and down those mountain trails. I'm healthy. I can even run. I do sprints. That's how I start my morning. It's such an amazing way to start your morning. And when you see that picture, then when you go through some of the struggles that you will on your journey, you may then be able to ask yourself, is this going to help us go up and down that mountain trail and spend that quality air in the morning with our family? Or is this going to set me back? Like, you got to make it something that's a little bit bigger in terms of the kind of experience that it's going to bring to you. Now, remember that we said that, the reason why these vision boards and plans and all of that good stuff, and you can pay all the coaches in the world and you're still not going to do a single thing. The reason is because between A and B, there's this thing here that's just empty. And what you want to know is, well, if I step out, am I going to fall? You want to know for sure that you are walking on solid ground. And that's the reason why many people stay in the land of fear, because they don't want to fall here, and they're not even going to try. They're not even going to take that chance. Well, these are the ingredients of actually seeing your dreams come true. And I know that we have a lot of people out there who will say that, all you have to do is just maybe take a few deep breaths and just sit there and wait for things to happen. But there's always going to be work in what's important to you and what you want, especially if you're going from one end to another. This is just governed by laws of physics, it's laws of chemistry, biology. If you just look at just elemental states, to get from one state to another, to get from one place to another, to get from something to another, there must be a journey. So in biology, you have evolutions, from even birth to death, from caterpillars to butterflies, from dinosaurs to crocodiles. Listen, I'm just giving an example. Something has to take place, a journey. In physics, you go from one state to another, something has to happen. So something has to happen for water to become vapor, for vapor to become snow, for something has to happen. We have to have ingredients that are interacting against and within. And so if you have an idea of what it is that you want to achieve for the end of this year, and you're just sitting there hoping somehow, it's going to happen, that's a lot of time wasted. And that's you're really kidding yourself. So these are the ingredients you're looking at. And this is where you just have to be real. You just have to ask yourself the hard questions. Am I up for this? Well, maybe if I showed you something. Oh, yes, here you are. That space here, the reason why people are afraid of crossing, say, from A to B, because they don't see what's underneath here, is because they don't see their foundations. Human beings, everything about us is all about foundations. From who we are, how we are, to how we end up. It's all about foundations. So if you find that you're looking at a goal and you're looking at the starting point and you're afraid to even step out, right, to take the first step or to do anything concrete, it is because you don't have anything to stand on. Foundations. Now, the first ingredient the first ingredient is hard work. And hard work, if you actually look it up on the dictionary, is the definition is, I think they say, well, it has to do with quite a bit of effort and endurance. That's what hard work is. So this is something that I like to show my clients. And I'm just gonna share it with you here, okay? This is your journey, right? So you're taking your journey from A to B. So you have your halfway point, you have a quarter-way point, and you have the three-quarter-way point. And as you can see, the very hardest parts of the journey, the danger zones, the parts in red, is a quarter-way in toward the halfway point, and a quarter-way out toward the finish line. Isn't that interesting? And the reason for this is because at the very beginning, that's where you need the most effort, the most endurance. And honestly, you get to a point where you're just so exhausted and you feel like maybe it's time to call it in. But if you had a long view of your journey, you would be so surprised that you've barely started, that you have a long way to go. This is the part where most businesses fail, right? The 0 to 5 years. This is the part where they just don't make it. This is the hardest part. It's where they just don't make it. Now, if you're fortunate enough to hang in there, and I'll show you the other ingredients that are needed to be successful, and you hang in there, you get a bit of a lull. You get a bit of a, oh, okay, wow, okay, I can breathe. Oh, thank God. And then you get to this part here where it's next close to the finish line, and you know, you're ready to give up because you're so exhausted. This finish line doesn't seem to be showing up. Like, what's going on? You've put in so much work, time, effort, maybe even money. You've sacrificed so much, and you're nowhere near finishing. This, again, is a danger zone because this is where the second most, where people fail. You know, that's where they give up, when they're like a couple steps to the finish line, when they're like a couple years to the finish line, when they're like a couple pounds to the finish line. This is where they give up. And then, you know, the home stretch here is, again, a bit of a break. So the reason I show people this is so that you can get a good understanding of what it's going to take so that you can make it from your point A to your point B. It's deciding on what it is that you want and then getting ready for the road. It's exciting, of course. You're working with someone, you're building on your dream. It's really exciting, but it's a lot of hard work. And if you want to be successful, and I mean real success in terms of not just, and we'll come to that. Actually, it is here at the end, real success, which is where they pay you and where they're happy. So for my people, and these would be solopreneurs, or self-employed professionals who get paid by offering services or goods, your sweet spot is here, where you get paid, that will make you happy, and where they are happy, that will just make it sweet. When you get paid, and you get paid by people who are very happy, then you know you've done your job. But you're going to need all these other ingredients here to help you get from your point A to your point B. And a lot of people don't like to talk about that. They don't like to talk about the hard work that's involved because hard work does not sound sexy. But if you decide what it is that you want at the start of your journey, and then see the clear picture at the end, that big overall goal that you're looking for, then have a firm foundation, right? And so some of the things that we've said here is, so we said hard work is necessary. Hard work is effort and endurance. Effort and endurance. You got to have a strategy. The strategy will give you your focus. You have to do your research. Your research will give you your niche. Many coaches will sell things that people have no desire to pay for. Maybe they're miserable, but not miserable enough that they want to pay for a solution. Or whatever it is that you're selling, do the research. Market testing, this is so important. And this is where you execute your plans. And then use the feedback, which is the results, to tweak and then repeat. So you got to do that market test, tweak, repeat. I talk to a lot of people who are in this stage where they believe that once they're out and running, that hands down the whole world will come running to them ready to buy. The truth is, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You've got to start that part there that I talk about, the live testing. You have to start that ASAP. ASAP. You can't wait until something is perfect or ready. You need to start getting your orders in now. You need to start selling your services now. You need to start getting people paying you now. And that will give you enough information for you to know how to proceed or even how to keep going on. Many times people will start, they'll create this perfect, package service, and then they'll go out and sell it. But the people who buy it will tell them, I like A and B, but C and D not so much. Or I need A and D only. I don't know about this stuff in the middle. Or I need A and where's E? So when you go out imperfectly with your products and services, it's people who will let you know what is needed, and you can roll that out to them, and they will get to that place where it's there waiting for them. Or you can quickly determine what you will do on your tweak and repeat pattern. Now, this is the key. For stage one, so stage one, you're 0 to 1.5 years. This is where you're really excited about what you do. But really, this is not where you're getting your money from. You're getting your money from a spouse, parents, savings, other family members, that sort of thing. This is not your income generating. So what you want to really focus on in this part, this stage, is the live testing. So this is getting your product out. Don't wait for finished stuff. Sell now. If people are interested, half the time they don't even need to know what the finished product is. They're just like, I love this, let's go. And then just start. See what you're dealing with. Make your adjustments, tweak, put it out there again. Now, second stage, stage 2 of your business, this is where, you've had your little fun, honeymoon. You're like, business is fun. Why didn't I do this before? You've made 1 or 2 sales, but now you're coming to the point where you're thinking, okay, I'm running out of money. And I really need to start making this stuff work. Like, this is not getting funny anymore. I need more clients. I need money. I need consistent revenue. Making money 1 month and nothing for the next 5 months is just not happening. It's not working out for me. So at that stage, what we're looking to do is, in that refinery part where we were dealing with the live testing and tweaking, that's going to show you a few things that you can move on. So again, we wait sometimes too much for perfect stuff or for complete stuff, when really the key is, okay, what's working? Take it, use it, go. And use that to gain your traction. And then you hit your success point. Yay, B! And that's where you get paid and they are happy. Now, this is for business, right? This is for business. But this can also be used in health, in relationships. This can be used in any one of those criteria. And how? Well, even with relationships. So let's say the research market testing part. Even with relationships, the idea is to try things. So like if maybe you're having communication problems, the research part would be learning more about, say, how someone communicates, or how you interpret what people are saying to you, especially the people that you're having conflict with. And what you always want to do is take information that you learn and then apply it, and then see what happens from it. Go back to the table, deal with it, and then go out and apply it, right? So you'll always have that tweaking that will go on. This part is so important, the live testing part. And this is where the hard work comes in. Hard work is what? Remember what we said? Hard work is effort and endurance. Hard work is effort. You've got to be consistent with your effort. You've got to be 100% consistent with your effort. Effort does not take a day off. Effort needs you to be there 24/7, giving it something. And what you'll find one day is you will look back and you're an overnight success. But we all know that it was years or a lot of time putting in the effort, staying true, endurance, putting things out there, doing your testing, tweaking, perfecting as you keep going. Because if you're in the business of serving people, you will not get it perfect immediately. Do not believe the lie that you will have the perfect copy, the perfect landing pages, the perfect product, and that people will be so excited about it. No, you have your growing pains. And the reason I say this is why. To be a successful business, you need to have lots of people who want to pay you for what you do. So to be a successful business, you are making such an impact on people's problems that they're more than willing to pay you. Not just the 1 or 2, 3 people, like we're talking about enough people that when you walk out at the end of the day, when you stick through this paradigm and you work through the foundations that will help you go from point A to B, what you will find is that you're making a profit. And you know that it's a profit because you're able to pay off your personal expenses, your business expenses. You don't owe the company or your business any money, and you have money left over. That is profit. That is net profit. Okay? So a lot of things to think about, but if you are, trying to make this the year that you see some dents in aspects of your life and especially your business, then really dig in and let's get clear on that. I'm Julia Katsivo. You can reach me at any time. I'd love your questions, and I'd love to talk to you. So thanks for watching this, and enjoy the rest of your evening or day, depending on what part of the globe you're on.